keeping our economy strong, keeping Australians safe. Our future depends more than ever on these things, more than ever. So Australians will have a choice very, very soon, and that choice will have consequences. It's no time for amateurs. It's no time for those who don't have the experience in dealing with these serious issues in financial management, economic security, and national security. These are the things that my government do every single year is working. I know that because Australians are working. Today's unemployment rate has fallen to just 4%. 77,000 more jobs right here in Australia. And that means we've got over 325,000 more jobs than we had from before the pandemic. Our economy is stronger. The unemployment rate for women has fallen to 3.8%. That's the lowest level since 1974. Our economic plan is about lower taxes and less red tape. It's about ensuring that we're investing in the skills and the infrastructure that Australia needs to grow. It's about reliable, affordable energy while cutting emissions at the same time through technology, not taxes. It's about a data and digital economy which equips us for the future economy and the jobs that are needed to drive that economy. And it's all about making things here in Australia, manufacturing in Australia, and our capability to be able to support ourselves in a time when the world is changing dramatically. This economic plan is putting Australians in work, putting Australians in jobs at record. Ryan from Wafex, and they run an incredibly innovative business that is providing floral products. And over the course of this pandemic, through the International Freight Assistance Mechanism, it's about $1 billion program that we've been running. We've been making sure that he's been connected to his customers all around the world. Tell us, Ryan, just what it's meant for you here.
Yeah, I mean, it's kept us going. Without the freight mechanism, we wouldn't have exported a box. We rely on, affordable air freight to be able to get our products overseas, and we've been investing in farms for the last 20 years, and without that mechanism, we wouldn't have been exporting.
Well, Wafex is it's like so many other businesses that have made their way through this pandemic and why we have such a strong economy today, keeping people in work, getting the big things right, keeping our economy strong, keeping Australians safe. Our future depends more than ever on these things, more than ever. So Australians will have a choice very, very soon, and that choice will have consequences. It's no time for amateurs. It's no time for those who don't have the experience in dealing with these serious issues in financial management, economic security, and national security. These are the things that my government do every.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to remember today how you are talking. Today he said, when they give them society freedom, they make a baby. They make a baby. Now when you hear Prime Minister he talking, he want to protect society, to give them society job to protect economic. Now you have to know is not protect society, is not protect economic. Him he protect, he have his interest. His interest is I don't want his society to have a baby. When they have a baby, they take them his power. This is the interest they have. You believe they protect, he protect economic. No, he is not protect economic. As we talking freedom, we talking to protect society and to protect economic. Him, his interest, they have interest, they don't want his country to have a baby, to make a baby. They take them power, they control them when they make a baby. Brothers and sisters, we have parts of the body. Parts of the body. All of our body they're different. They are not the same. Every you decide to treatment your body, they'll work with you how you want to protect, to work with you. If you want to make your body pimples, them to not to be to look how you want to look, they look like you want. If you want to make your body damage, you will make body your damage. When you want cleaning your body not to have damage, you will cleaning your body not to have damage. They are not different with the brain. Now brain, when you want to correct mistake to your brain, you will correct mistake to your brain. Now when you want to cause your brain damage, you will cause your brain damage. You will cause your brain damage. This is my question. I ask you a question. You remember when I was talking with the Prime Minister Scott Morrison about this corona disease, how he was abused his society, about this corona disease, how there was a charge them fine, how he was planning to put them in a camp, how he planning to put them inside the house, how he closed border, how he closed society job. I talked with I sent him a video. I said, Prime Minister, you don't have power to corona disease. Anytime they want to come to you, corona disease they come to you. I say you don't have power to protect your children with they are not allowed to have corona disease. And I say you don't have power to protect your family all with they are not allowed to have corona disease. I say anytime they want to come, they will come to you. Now, the corona disease they not come to him. He have power to stop them with not have corona disease. His family. He have power not to stop corona disease with not to come to him. This is my question. And you remember when I was talking, he was talking my doctor, he talking. And I sent a doctor na him, is I don't have power with he can get this corona disease. How many doctors they get corona disease? This is my question. This all parts he was a stop business, he was a protect economic. He was not protect economic. As he was talking to protect economic. As he was talking to protect economic. Him he was a destroy economic. Another my question. You know, society, when you're talking, is easy to forget. Now people he listen, is not easy to forget. When you see someone, he hear something, and he forget, you have to know we have brain damage. People he have to forget, people he talking. Now people he listen, is never forget. Prime Minister Scott Morrison. I was here, Kiraka, South Africa, he talking. He said, they did nothing. He said, what we did nothing. This message, when you hear this message, the Kiraka, he was talking South Africa, you forget this message. This is was the UN message leaders, oral leaders. There was not a message for people poor society. Now you're thinking, how you are thinking, you're thinking you're doing nothing, you're doing something. To me, you're doing nothing. When you want to protect your society, protect your society. When you don't want to protect your society, don't protect them. If you want to protect them in family violence, not to bring them violence, protect them to stop to bring them violence, them to protect them. If you don't want to leave it. When you want to protect your society distress, protect them to give them distress, protect them distress. If you don't want to protect them distress, leave it, continue bring them your society distress. When you want to protect society in a fire farmer, protect them. If you don't want to protect them, leave it. Leave them to die in a fire, them to protect all of this problem to protect you, your power not to control you. When you want to protect society in water, protect them. Them not swimming in the water to die to drink water to die there in the water. Them to continue to protect, to die, them to protect you, your power, your interest. Only one pussy women, penny men, they are not your body. They are not your body. Your body, they are not body, your wife. Your wife is the body, they are not your body. Your children is the body, they are not your body. Everybody has his body. To protect his body, good way. To me, stopping control crime in this body. Stop it to corruption in this party's body. You need to control this party in society, they know how to make a baby. And you to show them we want to protect the economic. And you are not protect the economic. As we talking to protect society, not to protect the economic. You don't want to protect society, and you don't want to protect the economic. You want to protect them to die. You to protect your job, not your power. This is your interest only. This is your interest. Joshua, he was talking in a TV. He said, we don't want to give them freedom they make a baby. Joshua Treasure. He was going to talking in the TV. He was not talking with you. First he was talking with you. First he was talking with you. And he decided to go to society to talking with them this. I believe every you want to treatment your brain they'll be like this. I give you example. People he have money and he have power. Him always he treatment he show them his brain. Him he is not going to be poor and he is not going to lose power. His brain they'll be the thinking this. Him he can thinking tomorrow when I lost money and I lost power. He's not thinking this, meaning his brain is damaged. He treatment his brain, he put damage. He treatment his brain, he put damage. The corona disease they can move there. Now this is my example. When we thinking we talking nothing, we are not talking, we are not protect country, now we are not protect society to this corona disease. Why before corona disease there was like 20 people, Australia or you close the border. Now why you open every day they can get na 100 na 300 people they have corona disease? Why you open? Another you're talking you want to put for society in a camp. Now when you get time you get a corona disease with your family. Why you are not putting rules you not to be in a camp? Like before you talking. Another my question. When you put rules in society they don't have jurisdiction, they have to be in police, they have to lose job, not to be in society. Now you get corona disease. You put rules in you to destroy job and not to be in society. Why am I talking? Brain, how you want to treatment your brain, they work like this. When brain you treatment your brain, you say, I have money, I have power, I'm not going to be poor. Your brain they take this. Now a day you will get problem, you are not going to remember. You are not going to remember. And when you want to protect your brain, always you remember, you will say any time when I be poor, not every power when they remove what are you going to be. You will start to protect yourself when you lose, not to have damage. Now look in corona disease, you make damage. And after to you could protect yourself. You protect yourself. You are not put rules about you. And you against as we talking. You can't remember this time they were talking through. Now we have to close to be friendly. To think we can help each other. And to think we were not missing communication conversation. You remember, I talking with you. I say, how you are thinking your interest, they not protect country, they not protect government, they not protect society. I say, when they come to your country, what are you going to do? To put society, you put society 25 distress in to protect country border. Now I ask you a question. What education you get to Kiraka? how he was talking. He was talking, they did nothing. Everything they did nothing. Now, what education you get Ukraine na Russia? Another my question. What education you get Syria? Another my question. What education you get Iraq? Is a lot of country. I'm not going to count for you. All long I finish. Now you go to east to the whole country. There like Syria, there like countries there like Iraq, countries there like Ukraine and Russia. I know you treatment your brain when we talking. He said these people they vomit as we vomit. See, brother Scott Morrison, you were not vomit. We talking to Ruth story ZDB. Look story was talking to we were talking to corona disease. They not you are not getting it. Now you believe this story war when was talking Ukraine there was there war. Russia there was there war. They not there. Now I ask you a question. What experience you get? You go to help Ukraine and Russia with guns to protect his border, to protect the border Russia, and to protect the border Ukraine. I was told you. Don't trust wongu wenu zeli kamu zeli be sad war. You are country zeli kamu to bring around the world to be sad war. Now when you know this time you go Russia to border to protect the border, not to go to Ukraine to protect the border. Now you're thinking in my country. I protect my country. Now you're thinking to know is you only you have to protect your border. You are not going to trust country because they protect your border. And the time they be, don't think they're not going to be. They be. I was talking with you. I say countries all they have war, they never born with war. Now them they were thinking like you, they safe. Now you thinking you are safe. You know, Step Cinderella. Him when he born in the family rich, he thinking you are not going to be poor. Now his parents they make this rich, them always they thinking they'll be poor. Now his Step Cinderella is not thinking this. Is a big corona disease. Step Cinderella. Is a big corona disease he have. He's thinking. I repeat again. We have Step Cinderella. And we have na his father na parent Cinderella. Now him parent Cinderella, sometimes he's thinking he can be poor again. Next Step Cinderella is never thinking he'll be poor. Now if you close with her, you go to her, you cry, you tell him a problem, you cry to her, I have the back at the pen. It say walk away, go. You don't have a job to I kick you. Him he know him every people he have to close with her. He have to be normal. He have to be normal. He can understand when people I close with her when he have a problem. I protect him. Now this is you are protected. To protect your society, to corruption them possible women, to corruption the men be penny, and to say you help them, you give them a job. This they are not parts for taxi. This they are not parts for business. Someone to use this parts business. Look, every they're talking to your TV, you forget. Every day they put children. They come overseas to study here they normal. When they come here, they get distress. Now, when you hear this story, like you reader, you forget this story, to follow this story, to note this, why these children, they come, they don't have distress. And when they come here to have distress, to know why they get distress, and to know how you can solve them distress, not to have distress. This is my question. To me, when you hear this, you have a responsibility to protect the border, to protect your society. This is the time you to are thinking yourself. You say, why my country, society, they come overseas, and when they come here to them to have the distress. This is your responsibility to going to you to know why. And when you know you treatment someone, he tortures them to stop him not to bring them distress. And to know if it's a youth service, they bring them distress, you to stop it. To stop it, this service, to give them a good service. I ask you a question. In the future, not any time, your children, when they go in another country, they go there normal, they don't have distress. You hear they have distress. You will be happy. Now you are sitting, you are not going to ask them to know why they have distress. Another. When you find they get distress there about service, you will say thank you, you will be quiet, you are not protecting them, not to move distress. You will leave your children them to this country, them to have distress, you not to protect them. I repeat again. When your children they go another country, you hear they have distress. You leave it to go there, to going to know why my children they have distress. When you find they bring them this country, they bring them distress. You leave it them there, not to protect them, think they can move distress. Brothers and sisters, take a message, Kiraka Ngozi are very important to you. Kiraka, he was not to give us people poor. He was to give them people power message. He said, every they did nothing. Now you have to know every you are interested, the nothing. When you look to this 3-country war, you're going to remember you're doing nothing. And me and you, they can come, you are here, now they can come, you are not here. All of my video I'm talking with you this. Keep it in Parliament. Keep it in Parliament. Keep it in video in Parliament. Record the video, keep it in the Parliament. And leave there in the message to your chair you sitting. Say, every he sitting to this chair, he have to listen to this video. First, he have to listen to this video. And then they come, me and you are not going to remember. Them to remember you, to remember us, me. Them to remember me and you. Them to remember me and you. This time they remember us, me and you. To your chair, you sitting, put information. Record my video or this video I'm talking, another I was talking. Record them, put to recorder, keep it in the Parliament. And writing to your chair. Say every Prime Minister he'll come to going to sitting here, first you have to listen to this video. Them to remember me and you. You're doing nothing. You don't show society will protect economic, and your interest is another. Your interest, you don't want to protect society, them they're not out to take your power. I give you a message how you are thinking. Is the treasurer you was talking is this. When he gives them he'll protect society, freedom, they'll make baby. Contact ABC, they'll give you on this video.
To be taken out of public schools because, and I quote, they're a strain on the rest of the class. People don't choose to be autistic. Taking them out of school is discrimination. And One Nation just loves it. One Nation wants a ban on any immigration from majority Muslim countries, even if the person isn't Muslim. People don't choose what country they're born in. That is discrimination. One Nation has no problem with that either. One Nation is opposed to same-sex marriage. People don't choose to be gay. That is discrimination. One Nation has no issue with that either. One Nation is not a fighter against discrimination. One Nation seeks to profit from it. It's just a fundraising exercise for them, and that's all this is. This bill is supposed to be about fighting the discrimination of people who haven't been vaccinated against COVID-19. The only people who need protection from discrimination are people who can't receive the vaccination for reasons outside of their control. They shouldn't be discriminated against. But if you're able to get vaccinated and you choose not to, discrimination is the wrong word. That's not discrimination. You have freedom to make a choice, but if you make a choice, those choices have consequences. You can't call every consequence a choice a discrimination. If you get behind the wheel of a car and drive twice the speed limit, you may be comfortable taking that risk with your safety, but you'd be putting other people's lives at risk, and you don't have the right to do that, and you will more than likely lose your licence. You are not being discriminated against. You choose to do something that puts other people's lives at risk. And you will be accountable, you will be held accountable for that choice. It is that simple. That's what we're talking about here. People who don't get the vaccine are making a choice. You have a choice. We all have choices to make. We all get a choice. You're making a choice that means you're more likely to get COVID and you're more likely to spread it to someone else. And that is your choice. It is your right. I want to make that clear. And I support that choice. I'm just checking with But you don't get to decide how the rest of Australia responds to that choice. You can't force someone else to act a certain way to you because of your freedom to choose. That's not how we do things in this country. We've got freedom of speech in Australia, but you can't stop people reacting to what you say with your freedom of speech. We have a freedom of assembly, but you can't stop the rest of us from calling you out if you're being disruptive and rude. Having the freedom to choose isn't the same as having freedom to avoid the consequences of that choice. Some might say that if you're vaccinated because you're required to in order to keep your job, you've been forced to get vaccinated. That's not right, and that's not being truthful at all. That is not correct. If you want to work with vulnerable people, you need to do a police check. If you want to work with kids, you do have to have a working with children check. That is the way it is. And we do that to keep people safe. How about that? We put others before ourselves. You can decide not to choose those checks. No one's forcing you. But if you don't do them, you can't work where you want to work. It's as simple as that. That is the way it is. If you want to work as a cabby, you need a licence to drive a cab. People without licences are not being discriminated against. If you want to work in aged care, you need to have a flu vaccine. And that law has been in place before COVID-19 was even a twinkle in a Chinese bat's eye, for goodness sake. That's the way it is. You have a right to choose. You don't have a right to put vulnerable people's lives at risk. You don't have that right. And so you shouldn't have that right. You don't have the right to go into an aged care home unvaccinated and risk starting a COVID outbreak for the elderly. I have constituents with autoimmune conditions who run businesses. If they're forced to serve unvaccinated customers, they'll have to choose between risking their lives or shutting down their businesses. You don't have the right to force them to make that choice either. We have pubs in Hobart that will have to close if a single COVID person walks into them. Those pub owners should be able to choose to protect themselves and their staff. And they should be able to say, I can't afford to have an unvaccinated person in here. They're already on their knees. They should not be forced to pay for another person's choice not to get the vaccine. This is the point. Nobody has the right to make someone's life less safe. That's not what freedoms mean. That's not what freedoms mean at all. You have the freedom to make your own choices. Everyone else has the freedom to respond to your choices. And you don't get to control that no matter how much you might want to. Now, I get that some people have a lot to fear about the vaccine. I understand that for some, putting that needle in your arm is a hard choice to make. It's good to ask questions about how the vaccine was developed, where it comes from, and how we know if it's safe. And I've asked plenty of those questions myself. I put it to the Department of Health, I put it to the TGA, and I wouldn't have it any other way. That's a democratic process in this country. Seats from one nation. I reckon a lot of their supporters would think twice if they saw the absolute hypocrisy of these politicians, these two, honestly. One nation to pretend to be on the side of the people, but they are happy to tell fibs to their own voters if it means they can make a quick buck or two. Take an example. Senator Hanson went on Sky News and said that the TGA had published data saying a whole bunch of people had died from COVID-19 vaccine. And the journalist pulled her up straight away and told her that's wrong. Protect ourselves, and it's how we protect each other. It's how we stand together. It's how we fight back. It is the only weapon we have. And we need to do everything we possibly can to keep ourselves safe, our kids safe, our grandchildren safe, and our friends and family. That's what we need to do. Sometimes sacrifices have to be made. They have to be made. You are patriots. We should be celebrating vaccinated Australians. You're fighting for our freedoms, to take control of our lives again. That's what you're doing. And good on you. It's a proud day for you today, and so it should be. Good on you for showing the courage to do so.
Ladies and gentlemen, Society Australia, This is the interest Prime Minister Scott Morrison. He's thinking to protect his society with the rules, to bring them distress, them to die is I don't want to have responsibility to protect them. Ever you hear they're talking economic, no, they use economic tools with rules to bring you distress. To think that this corona disease, they use tools to bring society distress.